Kanyakumari is a major tourist attraction down the south. The sun rises and sets here, not many places with that label on it. It was the most overwhelming feeling being at the southernmost tip of a country gulping at the journey ahead. Even though we missed out on both sunrise and sunset, we had fun on the beach. Apparently, August is a wrong month to visit Kanyakumari. One downside being born in Kerala is you don't see many wide roads and it's almost depressing for a petrol head. But luckily, NS7 isn't that far from home either. On the way to Bangalore from Kanyakumari via NH7 is as good as it gets. Bangalore, being the nearest tech city from our home state, we had many friends here. Dealing with the chaotic city traffic in Bangalore, we explored many places in and around the city. We also got to visit the Indian dealership. The Indians are among the oldest motorcycle manufacturers in the world, dating back to 1901, and they had officially gone bankrupt in 1977. Only to come back from the dead with their new lineup 36 years later in 2013. Today, Indians are as good as classic motorcycles can get, and getting to meet a few was treat to our so high. Saying our adieu to our friends in Bangalore, we headed towards Hyderabad. On the road, we got hints at our first trouble. That is, Bibin's classic finder was showing issues. A couple of misfires at first and a sudden halt in the middle of nowhere. Thanks to a lot of insights, we were somewhat prepared for a breakdown of such. Spending little time on checking what's wrong, we decided to tour the ride to the next town. The next day, we found out that the nearest RE showroom was an hour away from our place of stay. Bilal and Bibin made it there by noon and spoke to the person in charge, explaining the dilemma. He was convinced enough, so he sent two mechanics along with the spares to our place of stay where the bike was parked. Aha, without much struggles, with a new injector, the bike was up and ready. The next day, it was the 15th of August, Independence Day. Being at Hyderabad, we decided to hit Golconda Fort at the earliest to witness the ceremonial function by the Indian Army. But we got there a tad bit late and it was almost over. Nevertheless, we got to hike the whole fort and it was magnificent. Built in the 1500s, this vast structure shows the power of knowledge our ancestors possessed. Next day, we were supposed to start from Hyderabad to Nagpur early in the morning, but rains delayed our plans a couple of hours. And city traffic was up by the time we left and took us another couple of hours to get out of the city limits. To mess up things further, Bibin's ride breaks down again at Ramayapad as we had only covered 70 kilometers from Hyderabad and it was already noon. We were left with two options: to book a transport and get the ride back to the nearest showroom in Hyderabad or tow it to Nagpur. We decided to stick with the latter because help was waiting in Nagpur. Bibin's friend Anugrah, who also happens to ride an RE, assured us his services. With a preliminary checkup, we realized the issue was with the faulty fuel pump. So we decided to strip her up and try fixing. With every effort in vain, it was already past noon. So we decided to get back to towing again. Around 200 kilometers further, we found shelter in a toll plaza at Andhra border. Towing continued the next day for another 200 kilometers and the worst happened. Bilal's ride breaks down. We were left with two of our rides broken down, stranded in the middle of nowhere. Upon calling Anugrah for a solution, we realized we were only 50 kilometers from the Royal Enfield showroom in the city. We booked the transport, loaded both our bikes and go to the showroom by evening. The next morning, showroom people presented us with a quote that will burn a hole in our pockets and potentially threaten the completion of this journey. But we were left with no choice. The Thunderbird's block piston was replaced and Classic's whole assembly was changed from fuel injection to carburetor. After clearing the mechanical issues of the bikes, we headed towards Agra. The roads ahead was a blessing. All our struggles and worries were put to rest once we were at Madhya Pradesh. We got the prettiest roads of this journey from here.
You pretend that you don't know all the things that you did. You did wrong. And now before me lies that ghost. All I loved went up in smoke.
We reached Agra, the city of love, on the 14th day of our journey. This was my first time to the mighty Taj Mahal. Bilal and Bibin have been here before. The Taj looked straight out of a fairy tale in the evening. Taj Mahal is a UNESCO World Heritage Site and one among the new 7 wonders of the world. Constructed in the 1600s, Taj Mahal took 20 years to complete with around 20,000 artisans under the guidance of a board of architects led by Ahmad Lahori. For people who are interested in visiting this masterpiece, I recommend you to choose a full moon night. The marble structure under the moonlight is breathtaking. We headed towards Delhi the following day, the capital city of this mighty nation. Visiting the Ducati dealership in Gurgaon was on our checklist for day 1 at Delhi. The dealership at Gurgaon also happens to be the world's biggest. The red monsters were everything we hoped it to be. Later that evening, we visited the Lotus Temple. The Baha'i house of worship is designed like a flower, thus the name. The Lotus Temple is also open to all, regardless the caste and religion. By the evening, we were at India Gate, the war memorial to 82,000 soldiers of the undivided Indian army who died in the First World War. Another beautiful location to explore in Delhi is the Connaught Place. Constructed in 1933, this is considered the top heritage structure in New Delhi. A few rounds through the city and you will understand why Delhi is rightfully crowned the capital jewel. We commuted through the city mostly by the well-connected metro and by rickshaws. Leaving Delhi almost felt like leaving home. We were starting to get comfortable with the ways of this beautiful city.